Hey Melody, how's your day going?
Hey, Avery. It's going well, thanks. On my way here today, I saw one of those little delivery robots on the sidewalk.
Oh, the ones that look like a white cooler on wheels?
Exactly. And it made me think about something bigger, robot cars. Have you seen any news about them? They seem to be everywhere lately.
That's a great question. It really does feel like they're in the news all the time, and that's a perfect topic for our conversation today.
I agree.
So, a big warm welcome to everyone listening. This is the Cozy English Podcast.
And we are your hosts, Melody.
And Avery. Today, we're talking about a very interesting and maybe a little futuristic topic: self-driving cars.
That's right. We want to understand how they work and ask the big question, are they really safe?
It's a great topic because some people are really excited about this technology, but other people are pretty scared of it. We're going to talk about why.
And before we start, if you enjoy learning English with us in a cozy, relaxed way, please subscribe to our podcast and maybe share it with your friends.
Yes, we would really appreciate that. Okay, so Melody, let's start with a very simple question. What is a self-driving car?
Well, in the simplest words, a self-driving car is a car that can drive itself. There is no person controlling it with a steering wheel or pedals. The car does all the work.
Right, so you can just sit in the back seat, read a book, and the car takes you where you want to go.
Exactly. Now, you might hear a big word for these cars, autonomous.
Autonomous. Yes, that sounds a little complicated.
It does, but the idea is simple. Autonomous just means that something can do a job by itself without a person controlling it all the time.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's independent, kind of like how a robot vacuum cleaner is a little bit autonomous.
That is a perfect example. It moves around the room and cleans the floor by itself. A self-driving car is just a much, much smarter and more complex autonomous machine.
Okay, so how does it do that? How does a car drive itself? It needs to see the road, right?
It does. It has special eyes and ears. These are things like cameras and sensors. The cameras are like our eyes. They see the road, the traffic lights, other cars, and people.
Okay, cameras make sense. But what is a sensor? That's another good vocabulary word for our listeners. S-E-N-S-O-R, sensor.
A sensor is a tool that feels or detects things. For example, your phone has a sensor that knows when you turn it sideways and the screen changes.
Ah, I see. So the car has sensors to feel how close other cars are.
Exactly. It uses different kinds of sensors like radar and lidar, which use waves to measure distance very accurately, even at night or in the rain. So the car can create a 3D map of everything around it.
So you have the eyes, the cameras, and the feelers, the sensors, but what about the brain? Something has to take all that information and make decisions.
That's the most important part. The brain of the car is a very powerful computer that uses AI.
AI, which stands for artificial intelligence. We hear that term a lot these days.
hmm And it just means making a computer that can think and learn kind of like a human. The AI in the car looks at all the information from the cameras and sensors and decides when to go, when to stop, and when to turn.
So, which companies are making these cars? I know a few names, but who are the big players?
Well, many car companies are working on it, but two of the most famous are Tesla and Waymo. Waymo is owned by Google's parent company, Alphabet.
Right, and in some cities like San Francisco and Phoenix in the US, Waymo has a service you can use right now. It's called a robotaxi.
A robotaxi. That's another great word. It's easy to understand. It's a taxi, but it's a robot. No driver, you just use an app on your phone and a self-driving car comes to pick you up.
Wow, that feels like living in the future.
It really does. But this brings us to the biggest question, and the one that most people have. Are they safe?
Yes, this is the main point for me. The technology is amazing, but can we trust it? I read a study that said about 60% of people are afraid to ride in a self-driving car.
60%? I'm not surprised at all. I think I am in that group. The idea of sitting in a car with no one driving, it makes me nervous.
Really? What part makes you nervous?
I think it's about control. I'm used to a person being in control of a car. Trusting a computer to make a life or death decision is a huge step. What if something unexpected happens on the road?
That's a very common fear, but the companies making these cars say that's exactly why they could be safer than humans. A computer doesn't get tired or angry. It doesn't get distracted and look at its phone.
That is a very good point. So many accidents are caused by human error.
Exactly. A self-driving car can see in all directions at the same time, 360 degrees. A person can't do that, and its reaction time is much faster than a human's.
Okay, when you put it like that, it sounds much better. But there have been accidents with self-driving cars, right? We see those in the news.
Yes, there have been, and any accident is serious. But the companies say that when you look at the number of miles they have driven, their cars are already safer than the average human driver. It's a difficult thing to compare, though.
I guess it will just take time for people to get used to the idea. Maybe we can think about it like cruise control in our cars now.
That's a good comparison. Many modern cars have adaptive cruise control, where the car keeps a safe distance from the car in front of it all by itself. That's a small step towards a fully self-driving car.
Right, so we're already using some of this technology. We just don't think about it.
So let me ask you the big question, Melody. If a robotaxi from Waymo stopped in front of you right now and offered you a free ride across town, would you get in?
Ooh, that's a tough one. My heart says, no, that's scary, but my brain, after our conversation, is a little curious. I think I would be too nervous to do it today, maybe in a year. How about you?
I think I would try it. I'd be nervous too, definitely. I would probably watch the steering wheel turn by itself and be amazed and a little scared, but I'm so curious about the technology. I would want to experience it.
You're braver than I am. I think I'll wait until millions of other people have done it first.
And that's perfectly okay. I think a lot of people feel that way. It's a huge change in how we think about transportation. Beyond just personal trusts, there's the whole societal impact to consider. If self-driving cars become the norm, it's not just our daily commute that changes, but potentially our entire economy and the way our cities are designed.
That's a huge point. For example, what about jobs? Millions of people work as truck drivers, taxi drivers, and delivery drivers. What happens to their jobs if cars and trucks can drive themselves? Well, this has been a really interesting conversation. I feel like I understand how these cars work much better now.
Me too. So let's do a quick recap of the key ideas for our listeners.
Okay, so first, a self-driving car or an autonomous car is a car that drives itself without a human driver.
Second, it works by using eyes, which are cameras, and feelers, which are sensors, to see and understand the world around it.
Third, it uses a powerful computer brain with AI or artificial intelligence to make driving decisions.
And finally, the biggest question is about safety. There are good arguments that they could be safer than humans, but many people are still nervous, and it will take time to build trust.
That's a perfect summary. So now we want to ask our listeners a question.
Yes, the same question I asked Melody. Would you ride in a self-driving car?
Let us know what you think. You can leave a comment on our website or on whatever platform you're using to listen to this podcast. We would love to hear your opinion.
Thanks so much for listening to the Cozy English podcast today. We hope you learned some new vocabulary and enjoyed the conversation.
And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode.
Until next time, take care.
Bye, everyone.